Penske Auto Center, the quality car care system.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
It's a new way to plan your day. Get the weather information you need from Marshall Cease and Heather Tesh, including your local forecast on the 8th. Tune into Your Weather Today, weekday mornings from 7 till 9 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
It's a nasty day in New York as the Northeast blizzard sweeps in and takes hold of the area. More than 6 inches have already fallen, and wind gusts are whipping up to 35 miles per hour. And the blizzard is also blowing through Philadelphia. Winds are up to 30 miles per hour, and up to a half a foot of snow could fall before it's all over. We'll tell you where the storm is headed next and what you can expect. Hello and welcome to this edition of Weather Center. I'm Arch Kennedy. The blizzard continues in the Northeast. Heavy snow and high winds are quickly moving up the coast. If you have to be outdoors, get prepared for the worst from the Carolinas to New England. Here's a look at the projected impact of the blizzard. Expect very hazardous driving conditions. Also expect delays at the airports. Check ahead as the snow is shutting down the runways and many flights are canceled. Several schools are closed and government offices in D.C., Philadelphia, and other cities are closed. Taking a closer look at, let's check in now. Joining us now is Vanessa Burns. She is director of the Department of Public Works in Washington, D.C. Thank you for being with us, Ms. Burns.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. Tell us the current conditions right now in the area.
Well, we probably have 10 or 11 inches on the ground, and we're in the process at this point, and we have been working since about 3:30 this morning at trying to clear our main corridors. And we have been working on that with about 200 trucks for the last 8 or 9 or 10 hours.
What could you tell people about going out today? What kind of advice would you give?
I think if people can at all avoid it, I think it's just so treacherous out here right now. You need to give all emergency crews an opportunity to allow the salt and the plowing to be able to begin the process of clearing the streets to have any chance of being able to clear them in time for the rush hour tomorrow.
Ms. Burns from the Department of Public Works in Washington, thank you for joining us. Let's take a closer look at the Northeast now and show you what's going on. We have plenty of snow to talk about here from D.C. on up into Philadelphia and New York. In some areas, we've gotten a foot of snow, and we're going to see even a foot accumulating in some areas more through the evening hours. A very powerful system here moving up the East Coast. You can see our area of low pressure now just off the Virginia coastline here. It's producing actually even freezing rain as we get really close to the coast here, definitely inland, the snow, and we're going to see this continuing as the low pushes its way up towards the northeast over the next several hours to come. Well, as we take a look at our gale storm warnings, actually we have gale warnings from South Carolina and this is working on up the coastline to Eastport, Maine. Winds are kicking up. We have near blizzard conditions, and along the coastline, we're looking at some very treacherous conditions, 60-mile-per-hour winds at times. Well, we've sent our own Mike Seidel to Auburn, Massachusetts, and Mike, tell us what it looks like now.
Arch, it's been quite a ride out here from Boston this morning out on the Mass Pike in heavy snow and blowing and drifting snow. We finally got here about an hour and a half ago, and it's one of those days where you just want to kind of stay home. The snow has backed off. In fact, for the past half an hour or so, we've had a lot of sleet, now just a few flakes, and these gusty, icy winds. Wind chills again are below zero. Temperatures now holding in the low 20s. Let's take a quick snow measurement now. With all the wind and drifting, it's really tough to get an exact measurement, but reports around the Boston area and out here in Middlesex County anywhere from 4 to 8 inches. We'll put the old ruler in the snow. Well, there we have about 6 inches, but again, drifting makes it almost impossible to get a real accurate measurement. There's 6 again. Let's come over here, and about 5.5. So anywhere 5 to 6 inches here. We're out off the Mass Pike. Let me show you the Mass Pike on the storm cam and show you what we've got going. Just talked to the state police here, and they still have a speed restriction on the Massachusetts Turnpike east and westbound of 40 miles an hour. The normal speed limit is 65 miles an hour. As far as the local roads here, not a problem. Lots of salt, lots of plows. They take their snow clearing seriously. So these roads are in pretty good shape. Watch the back roads, the residential areas, and remember, you need to slow down. A lot of spin-outs this afternoon in Boston, and we do expect more sleet, freezing rain, and snow across this whole area later this afternoon and tonight. So it's not over yet, Arch, and a real mess, though. Logan Airport, by the way, virtually shut down. First, let's go to Colin Marquis. Colin, tell us what's on the way for this part of Massachusetts. I know we talked on the phone, and you mentioned there's still that risk of more precipitation later today and tonight.
Yeah, we will expect to see precipitation redevelop across parts of southwestern New England. This snowstorm of historical proportion across parts of the Carolinas now winding down. We've seen better than 20 inches in Raleigh-Durham, and the reaches are far north of there as well. Let's take you into the Carolinas first and show you that the radar is telling me we continue to see a decrease in the precipitation across eastern North Carolina. That will continue to wind down over the next hour or two. Norfolk continues to see very heavy snow. Right now, 1-2 inches per hour, maybe more, but I expect that in the next hour or two we will see significant improvements across the Norfolk area. This corridor here in the Washington to Baltimore to Richmond area, it's been ground zero just about all day long along I-95, and we continue to see the snow coming down heavy at times, the winds very gusty in this area. However, this back edge in through here, I will expect it to start to lift to the northeast, and so through the remainder of the afternoon we will see improvements from southwest to northeast. However, folks in the Washington and Baltimore area expect another 3 to 4 inches of snow, or 3 to 4 hours of snow before we start to see improvements in through there. And then farther north up into the Boston area, you're in a break now and in most of southern New England, but we will see precipitation in an intermittent way redevelop across that part of the world. In New York City, maybe a bit more snow. Will it accumulate in New York City? We'll continue to watch it here from the Forecast Center. Now back to Arch in the studio.
Thanks, Colin. Well, it's not accumulating snow in the southeast, but very cold air. We're watching a cold front pushing through, ushering in that Arctic air. Right now, you're just above freezing in Atlanta, 33 degrees, 41 the warmer at Columbia. We have 26 at Nashville, 38 at Birmingham. Orlando, you're coming in even kind of cool at 55. Wind chill is a factor here. We have some windy conditions making it feel a lot colder. 9 your wind chill in Atlanta. 0 at Louisville. Nashville, you feel like 10 degrees, and 24 at Birmingham. We have freeze advisories for some areas of the southeast, and you can take a look at it here around eastern Texas into portions of Louisiana and also around a portion of northern Florida. Take a look at some video out of Raleigh, North Carolina, where it is actually looking like a winter wonderland. You're having a pretty rough time of it today. 1.5 to 2 feet of snow fell in the area. 15 inches of it fell in just 4 hours, if you can believe that. And look for more to fall through the late afternoon, but tapering off, plus the temperatures dipping down into the 20s by tonight. All right, as we take a look at the Midwest, well, things a little more calm here. We're looking at very cold air to deal with, but little in the way of precipitation. And you can see some of the snow continuing across the lakes. Again, no big accumulations to deal with here, but the cold air is in place. 18 for you at Green Bay. We have 20 at Indianapolis. St. Louis even very cold at 25. Minneapolis at 14. Look at these wind chills. 9 below in Minneapolis. It feels like 7 below for you in Chicago and 6 below at Indianapolis. Well, as we take a look out west, we have more weather to talk about. Rain, higher elevation snows continuing. By the way, around the Sierras, you've seen a foot in some areas. Another foot is possible to accumulate over the next few hours to come. You can see the precipitation quite plentiful. Even down toward LA, you saw some light rain, and even working close to San Diego. Well, as we head on toward the east, Salt Lake City, some rain, also into southern Utah. And as we get into the higher elevations, very little in the way of snow accumulation. Probably as you get farther toward the east into Wyoming, we're looking at another 3 to 6 to accumulate. Also the Colorado Rockies, and you can see even around the northern Sierra, another foot is possible by midnight. 28 cold degrees in Denver, but it's warmer in Phoenix, our warmest at 70. We have Seattle coming in at 43. Well, as we take a look at the forecast, first out west, we're going to continue to see the rain and snow building up through your evening commute. The Central Plains looking real good. The southeast real good but cold. And we have our northeast storm continuing to produce a problem around your commute home into Boston, New York, and even Philadelphia. Well, it moves on up toward the northeast, that storm that is, up toward Maine, even by your commute tomorrow on actually Wednesday morning. Some slight lake effect snow continuing even into the Ohio Valley, and we watch this this west storm moving into the Rockies. Take a look at your precipitation forecast over the next several hours up until midnight tonight at least. Well, look at this up toward the northeast in some areas. Look at that, up to a foot more possible in portions of Virginia as you work into eastern New York and up into Maine as well. We could also see locally around the northern Sierras up to a foot more of snow and definitely an inch of rain in some areas. Well, stick around. We'll detail your travel conditions for the ride home and travel-wise after your local forecast.